Okay. Um, Going back to Keefe D real quick, he said that, well, first of all, he said that MTV News reported that Orlando Anderson, Keefe D's nephew, is the one who was the suspect. When I've never heard Keefe D's name on MTV or in any news, but he said that, and then he went on to say that Suge Knight snitched on him to the FBI, and that the FBI believed that Harry O had a hit on him, and that's what the Vegas stuff was over. Did you hear that crazy segment?
I heard that segment. I kind of know where Keefe going on that. He going on that because of the article with Chuck Phillips where his connection said, and he never said no name. Because you remember what he said his connection said? Was that y'all? Is that y'all? And that's when the connection cut him off. So my point or my opinion on that is that's Keefe. Like I told you earlier, Keefe liked to throw his name because Keefe liked to feel bigger than what he is or want to make himself to be a bigger person. He always like to say, like Keefe did it. Keefe, that's Keefe. And so, but yeah, we know, I mean, shit, it ain't no secret. I did call my daddy and told him what had happened and what it went down. And to be careful in Compton, I mean, it's about to be on because of what just had happened out there. If it wasn't that night, it was definitely that morning. And so, yeah, the police knew that they had just did what they was. Didn't know the players, didn't know who. I didn't know, I wasn't privy to the who's, but I knew it was some niggas from Compton, Southside Crip, behind the chain. That's the reason that they rolled and did what they did. And so, yeah, that came from me to my father. But it was mainly that, just like it happened, the city's about to be popping. Y'all better be prepared. And so, but that's what you do as security. Suge homeboys, James, Bunter and all them, they don't do stuff like that. That was Reggie's job. That's why Reggie was there. Not one to hurt anybody or anything, but just to keep the heat off them. They didn't want their doors getting kicked in either. They didn't have to. But that was Red's job. So, yeah. And I don't think Suge would have had a problem if he knew I made that call. As long as they didn't have to do it. It took everything I love Suge. Y'all just don't know how much hell Suge caught from Buntry, Neckbone, and Trey and all of those. Do y'all know in his probation hearing, Suge got on the witness stand? I was supposed to do that. I never went inside the courtroom because I was the witness. I was supposed to have been the one that got up there and identified and said, that's Buntry's kicking. That's Neckbone right there. That's Trayvon. Suge eventually did it. I don't know why he did it, but he caught a lot of hell from the homies behind that. They were real disappointed when he did that. But I knew what my role was supposed to be, and that was my role supposed to be. But that might be too deep for a lot of y'all, but that's how it was going. That was the plan back then. That's all Reggie guys was there for. We wasn't there to be no armed assassins or killers or nothing like that. He already had them if needed. Our job was supposed to be in there to be good witnesses, and that's why I was so disappointed with Frank. When y'all hear me talk bad about Frank. Everybody that worked for me knew what their job was supposed to be. They were supposed to be the ones that try to keep niggas out of trouble, and pull that badge out or whatever to say, hey, they with me. Can you give them a break? One. But two, and more importantly, if something did go down, they were supposed to be the ones to go to court and testify. Those niggas from the mob or Paru areas or even the Long Beach dudes, they weren't going to court and sit and testify. Why y'all think Suge Knight made the statement that he said when they asked him? He said, absolutely not. You can't. You can't. But I can.
People are gonna ask, so I figured I would go ahead and beat him to the punch. When you said that Suge got on the stand and told who was in the security footage of the tape, and you said it was supposed to be you, why didn't you do it?
Because they had already knew. The prosecution had already named everybody. Not only that, we had already got word that the hood had knew. But to be honest, Tim Brenner came down, or Ray Richardson, one of the guys from my dad's gang unit, came down and was going to testify to it. People had already, they had already known. Everybody had already known. And so that's why I eventually didn't. Suge did it because they already knew. So we're trying to make Suge look like he's been honest because truly, y'all, I don't tell y'all this. Y'all don't want to believe it because we know y'all done watched it thousands of times or whatever. But when we first got that tape, and that's the only reason David Kidder is the one that put it out. When we look at that tape and you look at that tape as an objective person, you can't tell that Suge really kicked Orlando like that. Suge really went in there with the intentions on getting them off of them because Suge knew Vegas. Suge had worked nightclubs in Vegas. He had been out there in Vegas. He knew about all those back rooms and stuff in Vegas. He knew about the cameras in the casino where the homies just reacted. But everybody already knew. And and I don't blame him for what he was facing. But the judge said, after 13 times of reviewing this tape, I determined you violated your probation, Mr. Knight, for doing a kick. All right. But did y'all catch what Laz said in that interview that he said, that he did over there on Vlad? Which I always tell y'all got the groupie and oh, he's going to get violated. He's going to get violated. Tupac was going back to... Man, if that shit wouldn't have happened, if Tupac wouldn't have got shot that night, man, ain't no MGM security, no Las Vegas security, no Orlando or any of them was going to filing no police report at the MGM that night or Vegas. It would have went ungone. Wouldn't have never been heard about until the shooting happened.